What's gone wrong for the young Indian in this game?
I think it's just Nakamura at his best. You're facing one of the best endgame players of all time. You're a pawn down. It was very tense for a long time earlier, but it feels like Gukesh kind of cracked at a very crucial moment, and Nakamura since then hasn't put a foot wrong yet. Should still be able to guide this one towards victory. His king has been pushed back, however. Fair play to Gukesh. He's at least asking questions. He's saying, can you win this endgame without your king? Nakamura's shaking his head. I must say, I haven't seen him play from this location before. It's different from his usual streaming place, I guess. But OK,
Ooh,
Gukesh.
Shaking his head a little bit.
Yeah, and the bar, for the first time, at least slightly showing some white. Gukesh has stopped those black pawns in their track for now. Is there a way to break this? What do we think?
Well, the good news is that one knight on b5 takes care of both of the black pawns, at least for the moment. And you see the black knight go back towards the white pawns. You're just trying to keep black stuck in place on the queen side, and then black is trying to go after the pawns on the king side, but the white king can slide over and save that pawn. And if the pawns get traded, like you were mentioning, David, that gives white chances. What you need to do is eliminate all four black's pawns. And even if that costs you your knight, you will be able to make a draw. A lone king and knight cannot deliver checkmate. So all of a sudden, Hikaru, he's looking a bit frazzled, and maybe he believes that Gukesh has a chance.
Yeah, and under 1 minute now for Hikaru, and wow, what a move, giving up his knight, offering that knight as bait, and he's countered very well here. He's realised it is a race. Let's go in and show this knight sacrifice again, because Nakamura now giving up his knight. If it's captured, it's a race between this pawn, 2 squares away from promotion, and this knight. Unfortunately, the knight cannot get back in time to stop this pawn from becoming a queen. We mentioned that knights are especially bad against these rook pawns, and it's going to be a new queen on the A1 square. And therefore, if the knight cannot be captured, it must be driven away. And if the white knight runs, for example, to retreat, the black pawns can start rolling once more. What a move, Tanya.
What an idea, knight c7. I absolutely love it. As you mentioned, the knights are the worst defenders against the flank pawns, and knight c7 just on giving up a whole piece, but the a pawn is super fast. And the main idea of this move by Hikaru is, of course, to try to push the b pawn to assist the a pawn to queening. And he sort of found the fastest way to victory. And I'm just thinking, very often the players say that, you know what, Hikaru's expressions can be so deceptive. And that little head shake that we just saw by him, and then he plays this fabulous knight c7, calculating it to victory. I think it's one of those moments. Don't go by what you see with Hikaru.
Yeah, he's full of those expressions which throw us off, but also throw his opponents off. And yeah, his a-pawn now is only 2 squares away. That white knight and that black a-pawn basically cancel each other out.
Ooh.
And finally, those head bops, I don't know what to call them. Hikaru knows he's winning.
Yeah.
And yeah, this one's a matter of time.
And we have another huge result, you guys. We were looking at Alireza Firouzja, Arjun Erigaisi, saying that it was looking quite good for Alireza Firouzja. Something has happened here. Arjun Erigaisi takes the first point.
Wow, and what a way to win. I just looked over at that game. He won it with a queen sacrifice, Robert.
Yeah, it was a beautiful queen sacrifice at the end. So he was able to take game 1. A gorgeous play from Arjun Erigaisi and his compatriot, his friend, Gukesh. I mean, he's struggling now against Nakamura, down a pawn in this endgame, and I think looks were deceiving. Hikaru Nakamura shaking his head, but when all is said and done, this one, the B and A pawns, they're too far advanced. The knight on A6 is shepherding them towards the other side. And I believe that black will simply get a queen. And if that queen is stopped, then that requires the white king to dart all the way over to the queen side. And the black king will scoop up the remaining white pawn. So this is an easy finish for Hikaru Nakamura at this point.
Yeah, and Gukesh now down to his final couple of seconds. He needs to move. Oh, he made that move, I think, with 2 seconds left. He's running with the white king towards that side. But there we go. I think we have the result confirmed. No way to stop those pawns from running now. The pawns will become a queen, and Gukesh gives up. Hikaru takes the win.
It's over. Another win for a big favorite. Hikaru Nakamura, with the black pieces, takes the win against Gukesh.